just around the corner. This open seat race is between Republican Pat Toomey and Democrat Joe Sestak. Pennsylvania has always been somewhat of a swing state and generally only leans slightly Democratic. We had an interesting Democratic primary, and here to talk with me today about the race are two political analysts. Please welcome experts Mary Makmur and Wiliam. Mary graduated from Columbia with a doctorate in political science, and Wiliam is a sophomore from UT and has taken 2 government courses in college and once fell asleep with CNN on the TV. First we'll go to Mary to talk about Pennsylvania's voting trends.
Pennsylvania's voting history has always favored both parties. However, the last few elections we have seen a trend favoring the Democratic Party in the House and the Republican Party in the Senate. This current general election is really a toss-up between both candidates. Toomey has been leading the polls consistently, but recently Sestak has been catching up. For this race, Pat Toomey has the upper hand in campaign funds, as he has raised $14.8 million, while Sestak has only raised $8.7 million. Toomey has been endorsed by Sarah Palin and supported by Rudy Giuliani, while Sestak is endorsed by Joe Biden and Barack Obama. In the October 20th debate between the two candidates, both accused each other of being too extreme in their respective parties. In my opinion, both candidates still had a strong showing in the debate, with neither candidates gaining any ground.
And now we'll go to Wiliam for the Republican primary.
Quite honestly, the Republican primary was a breeze for Pat Toomey. His opponent, Peg Luxick, never really had a chance against the former member of the House of Representatives. Toomey really had an upper hand with lingering name recognition from the close race he lost to Specter last election season.
Yeah, the Republican primary was pretty boring, but the Democratic primary was much more interesting. How about you tell us about that, Wiliam?
The Democratic primaries really brought the Pennsylvania senatorial elections into the spotlight. The interesting story in this election centered on the incumbent Arlen Specter. Specter was a Republican in the Senate in his past term. However, before this election cycle, Specter decided to run in the Democratic primary against former member of the House Joe Sestak. Unfortunately for Specter, he could never really put his last-minute switch to the Democratic Party behind him. He was viewed as a traitor in the eyes of conservatives and a wolf in sheep's clothes to liberals. Also, Specter could not escape the numerous photos of him with prominent Republican leaders. These factors, coupled with effective TV advertisements by Sestak, shed negative lighting on Specter and propelled Sestak to a 54-46 victory. Back to you, Josh.
And now we'll have some questions from our viewers. Our first question is from Tom Mann from Philadelphia, and our analysts will answer.
Alright, so my question would have to be, if elected to the Senate, what steps do you think that Congressman Sestak will take to try and better the current environment and energy situations?
That's a good question. In fact, in the past, Sestak has stated that he feels a tax credit for renewable energy sources needs to be extended to ensure that citizens are encouraged to be green. He's also in favor of increasing the national renewable energy standard to 20% by 2020, along with the passage of climate change legislation.
Our second question is from Betsy Woman, also from Philadelphia.
So it's been about 2 years since Obama's been in office and about a year and a half since the $800 billion stimulus package was enacted. But if you look at America's economy, it's pretty obvious that it's not the best situation right now, and our unemployment rate is close to 10%. So my question is, what do you think Pat Toomey will do to really boost the economy?
Well, I want to start by saying that Toomey opposed the stimulus package, but I think Toomey wants Congress to stop weighing down Pennsylvania businesses with large taxes and regulations. Toomey knows that Congress needs to stop spending the taxpayers' dollars on bailouts and stimulus packages that really don't show any visible effects. Congress can instead use that money from taxpayers to cut payroll taxes. Toomey has even suggested getting rid of the complex tax code we currently have in exchange for a more simpler and more fair tax code, which could cause a boost in the economy.
So, in conclusion, Pat Toomey had been holding a significant lead in the general election. However, the race is tightening because support for Sestak is growing, while support for Toomey remains steady. According to the polls, Toomey still holds a lead of 48% to 44%, with 8% undecided. But the race has shifted from a fairly definite Republican victory to much more of a toss-up. That being said, considering the general distaste Americans feel for the Obama administration and the Democrats in general, we here in the corner are going to have to predict a victory for Toomey here. Thanks for watching Carroll's Corner, and next week we'll be talking about Lindsay Lohan's drug addiction.